Please read the disclaimer. Vanguard just flipped. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Yes, one of the biggest financial institutions in the world that was totally anti-crypto, said we're never going to touch crypto, just changed its tune. We'll talk about what that means for XRP, what that means for the crypto market. We'll also cover what the Fed said last night. A lot of people were anticipating, waiting for that, the Fed Chairman Powell's speech. And we'll talk a little bit about the current situation with alt season, and also Bank of America did something very, very interesting. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good, good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Let's try to get 2,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. It's early morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you're watching around the world. So you're rested, you have strength for the day, and you can click that like button on your phone or on your TV or on your computer or tablet, wherever you're watching. Currently, XRP is sitting at $2.01, down minus 0.8% on the day. Bitcoin at 86,953. We got Ethereum at 2,800. Basically, the market is, I wouldn't call it standstill, but it hasn't really had any big movement since last night, where XRP dropped down around that $2 level. You can see since it had that sell-off, the Japan reaction, we're seeing basically XRP did drop under $2 for about an hour or so, but has popped up since then and has held since then at the $2 level. It will be very interesting to see what XRP does here today. We don't have any real data or anything that is coming out today that could rock the market either way. We did have last night the Fed chairman speaking, and of course he opened it up and he says, "I'm deeply honored to have asked to speak here today about legacy of George Shultz. Just to be clear, I will not address current economic conditions or monetary policy." Wank, wank, wank. All right, so that's why the market did not react to, of course, the speech last night. We were saying, hey, maybe he's going to say something. Maybe he's going to say something positive, negative. No, he didn't say anything to here or there. And that's why the crypto market is still up in the air. We're about a week out from the Fed decision. So that's next Wednesday. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with the crypto market again. Day to day, I don't know what the market is going to do. I don't know how, maybe the president, the US says something, maybe the Fed chairman says something, maybe we don't know, right? Maybe something happens in Japan again, something happens in the EU. We don't know what's going to happen day to day, what the news is going to be. Very, very important. Of course, this video is only for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only, non-financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Let's move on to the big news of the day that had all of X and everybody in the crypto market rumbling. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Vanguard said, the CEO said, Vanguard CEO says they will not offer spot Bitcoin ETFs because it does not belong in a long-term portfolio and it's not a store of value, right? Well, Vanguard, one of the big dogs with BlackRock, right? We'll get to, in just a second. Not that. Starting tomorrow, Vanguard will allow ETFs and MFs tracking Bitcoin and select other cryptos to begin trading on their platform. They said how the ETFs have been tested, performed, and designed through multiple periods of volatility. Right. So how it's going, how it's happening, right? How it flipped, how it started versus how it's going. Vanguard flipped, right? And actually, the new CEO, that was the old CEO. The new CEO, when he came in, said that they would change their policy, and he doesn't hold the same views as the former CEO. This was something that we kind of knew, right? I see here from Nate, Vanguard finally caves. Will now allow spot crypto ETFs trading on brokerage platform, includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Sol ETFs. However, Vanguard reiterates they have no plans to launch their own spot crypto ETFs. So anybody that was thinking that maybe Vanguard would join BlackRock and Fidelity creating crypto ETFs, no, right? For now. Again, maybe that changes in the future. But for now, I think their balance sheet is okay, right? Although they probably are a little bit jealous of BlackRock and BlackRock's amazing ETF, right, for Bitcoin. But this is, a big change. And listen, this is huge. BlackRock 14 trillion, Vanguard 11 trillion. This is like BlackRock entry to the market again. Yes and no, right? Because yes, clients can now access the ETF. So, meaning if you had a fund or an account at Vanguard, let's say a 401k or an IRA or something like that, until now you couldn't access the ETFs. Well, now you can. So, that's big, right? It's a lot of money that was sitting on the sidelines that can now purchase the ETFs. We know it takes a little time until customers will be aware of this, until, the funds actually get the money, then they have to purchase the assets. I think when BlackRock entered, of course, it was a big party, Marty Party, right? But also they, created the ETF, and that put buying pressure on Bitcoin. Right now, it may or it may not create that buying pressure depending on the clients, right? So this will be very interesting to see how much this actually affects the price of crypto short term. Again, long term, this opens up a whole lot of money that could potentially come into the crypto market. Does it mean for sure that it's going to come into the crypto market? No, right? We're still in a situation where many people are afraid of crypto. They're weary of crypto. A lot of financial advisors don't even speak the word, right, that starts with C, right? And so if that shifts in the future, then, a lot of money could be coming in. But if it doesn't, then yes, they open it up for the clients. But if the clients, let's say, are, maybe baby boomers or older generation, and they're not really interested in crypto, then it could take a little while. We've talked about this before, for the money to shift down, inheritance and things like that. And then maybe through Vanguard, it would come in. But this is a very interesting and a shift. Again, maybe JP Morgan is the only one, but they also, own stuff that is related to crypto. I think they're the only one that are really like, their CEO is really still anti-crypto. In his remarks, for the most part, all the big dogs, they understand that there's money to be made, and if there's money to be made, then they don't care. They'll do it, right? They'll enter the market. And again, people that, looking at the crypto market long term are looking at the prices right now and are like, oh no, crypto, it's finished, right? Things like that you see sometimes online. I think it's a joke, right? Because when you look long term, how can you not be bullish on this market? Again, short term, the price fluctuates. Bitcoin was at 15,000 2 years ago. It was at 3,000 in 2020, and now it's at 86,000. XRP was at 50 cents just a year and a little ago, right? 14 months ago, it was at 50 cents. Now it's at $2. That's 4x, right? So if you get an investment and it 4x's on you, right? That's pretty good in a year, right? They say that if your investment doesn't double in 7 years, that's a bad investment, right? So, I'm just saying. That's what my dad taught me. I don't know. That's what he said. He said if you invest in something and it doesn't, appreciate 100% or double in 7 years, it wasn't a good investment. And then you have to rethink things and shift things. So we'll see where we are in 7 years. But it's very, very interesting, where we are in the market. And of course, XRP and Ripple are in a totally different realm than where it was just a year ago, even, right? With the former administration and all that. An update here from Ripple: to capture the value of projected 16 trillion tokenized economy, institutions need more than just storage. They need resilience. At Ripple, we provide security environments that mirror the rigor of the banks we serve. We combine HSM with FIPS certified hardware to deliver security that scales, protecting assets without sacrificing operation speed. But legitimate integration with this global financial system requires verification. That's where we strictly adhere to SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO 27001 standards, ensuring your infrastructure is not just powerful but compliant. Ripple announced that new news from Singapore yesterday. They're continuing to broaden their horizons with the companies that they have purchased. They're continuing to be integrated into financial systems. And again, a year ago, all this seemed like it would never happen, but now we're in a totally different situation. And big banks continue to open its door to crypto. So we talked about Vanguard. Well, Bank of America, one of the largest banks in the US with nearly 2.0 trillion in assets under management, is now telling its wealth clients they can allocate up to 4% of their portfolio in crypto. It's not a small time financial thing. The near magnet level capital being told crypto is okay. When a behemoth like Bank of America gives the go ahead to a net worth money to flow into crypto, it's not a ripple. Maybe that's talking about Ripple. It's a new tide rising. Again, short term prices can fluctuate, prices can move, but long term, the door is opening up to so much money potentially coming in here, and we'll see. Bull Theory put out a theory, right, on why we didn't see out season yet. It says the most reliable out season indicator just came in, and the number isn't great for now. The US ISM manufacturing PMI for November came in at 48.2, below expectation of 49. That means manufacturing activity is still contracting. Quick reminder of what ISM PMI actually measures. It's the monthly survey of 400 plus manufacturing companies where they answer basic questions like, did new orders increase or fall this month? Is production rising or slowing down? Are you hiring or cutting staff? Are suppliers' deliveries faster or slower? Are inventories building up or running low? All of these responses from a single number, 50 plus expansion, below 50 slowdown. Today, 48.2 reading clearly shows the economy hasn't turned upward yet. Here's why it matters for crypto, especially alts. In both previous cycles, ISM had a clear relationship with big altcoin runs. 2017, ISM was above 55. 2021, ISM was above 55. Alt season didn't happen in weakness, they happened when manufacturing demand and hiring were showing strong momentum. Right now, ISM is still far from that level. Raoul Pal talks about this a lot. But the important part is what comes next. Rate cuts in 2026, looser financial conditions, potential policy changes, better liquidity across the system. These are ingredients that can gradually push ISM back above 50 and eventually towards the range of 55 where previous out season formed. Today, numbers doesn't change the long-term outlook. It simply shows the economy hasn't picked up yet. If ISM starts trending upward over the next few months, that's when early signals for 2026 out season become meaningful. For now, data confirms one thing. We're still in the waiting for expansion phase, not the out season phase yet. Right? And again, that's something that Raoul Pal talked about, that he's also looking at that. Interesting. XRP is falling a little bit now, right? As we talked that it hadn't broke under $2. It did by the end of the video. It must have heard me speaking. I need to speak other things. What should I say? What should have I said? It hasn't touched $3 yet today. Right. No, but just looking at it, the whole market just contracted a little bit here, and so that's why we're seeing a little bit of sell-off again. This happens day to day. We can see ups and downs again. Remember, we don't know exactly what's going to happen day to day. That's very, very important to remember. If you haven't yet subscribed or joined the free Telegram group, the community, now's the time to do so. Link is in the description down below. Also, if you go to my website, you can find some of our partners and support that way by signing up using my affiliate links. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond. That's the easiest, and the easiest is just to click that like button. Did we get 2,000 likes? If you made it to the end of the video, I'm counting on you. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.